So here's the next one on the list. This one's also a grade 4 BB, and once again it's all a little bit different. I personally think this is an interior grade C. You can see there's a U1 at the back, and the tyres at the back are a number 2 and a number 8. So we'll just see what a number 8 and a number 2 tyres are like. So number 8 tyre means 80% tread remaining. You can see there's a lot of tread on that one. At the back, they're saying there's a U1 just around here, and the tyres are a number 2. So 2 is 20% tread remaining, so these tyres are getting very low. They're pretty much flush with the marker, so about 20% remaining. They probably need to be replaced. They're also cracking a little bit around the rims. Those tyres are not going to have a lot of grip. Now, where was this U1? Might be better if we look at it from this angle. There we go. It's just there. You can see there's a very light pin dent. Another good example of a U1. So this one is really grubby inside. I'm surprised it's got a grade 4B. I would personally run away from this car. Seats like that, you just can't clean them up. So we're not even going to bother to start this one in the interest of time, but I think it's a good example of why we need to look at these cars. But also another good example of a U1, and also some tyre wear marks. Let's jump on to the next one. So here's the next one that we're looking at. This is a Black M Sports. It's a 2005 model. It's got a really interesting auction sheet. I think we've seen a lot of U1s and U2s, so I won't go over them, but you can see at the front they're saying A, and they're saying scraping underneath, and they're saying on the back, what's that, the back left door, there's an A2 U4. Now U4 is right at the top of the scale as far as dent size goes. So let's have a good look at those ones in the front. They're also saying some, at the front bumpers there's a bit of scratching around the sides. You can see there's an A1 just around here. So we'll have a look at them. So this is, they've marked this as an A1 on the side. I think it's more than an A1. I don't think it's bad, because that could be quite easy to repair, but in comparison to some of the other cars, it's probably more like an A2, even though that could be very easily touched up, because it doesn't look like there's any dent in there. Now underneath the car they're saying there's some scratches. You can see all of that along there, so that's not fairly insignificant because it's underneath, but you can see on the auction sheet they've really marked that heavily, because I guess it is quite a heavy scratch, even though it's underneath the car. Now down on the door here, this is our, what was it, a U4. So that is, maybe it's, I mean it's long. That's why they've given it as a U4. Let me just put my hand there in comparison. I mean that's almost the length of my hand, so maybe it's 10 centimeters long or more, and that's why it's got a U4, maybe a U3. Now inside, grade B interior, it is beautiful. I would go close to saying this is more of an A quality. It really is nice interior. Look at that interior, that really is spectacular. Beautiful. It's like a new car. We've also got, no we don't, not two, so there might be some spare keys. So no problems apart from put some petrol in the car. It doesn't look like it's majorly overdue. That one should be checked. So it does need a little bit of service with some things. So let's just have a quick look at the engine with this one. Ah, beautiful. So this is a really good example of a leaking filter housing, and what it is, just in front of my finger there's a black seal that goes around in between these two pieces of metal. There's also another seal in here that can sometimes leak, so there's two seals. Now if we look down the back there, there's a puddle of oil. When these leak, they really leak, and that would be going all the way. Oh yeah, if we can get the camera in there. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a puddle of oil down there. Look at that, that's an oil leak, if you've ever seen one. You can see they've recently done the head on this. They do recommend putting sealant in there. I'm just wondering what type of sealant that is, but it's probably not too bad. Sometimes these can also leak way up the back. There's another little seal and it drips down onto the exhaust pipe there, and after a while they'll start smoking and oil comes bellowing out. Obviously not with this one. So a good example of a nice filter housing oil leak. I personally think this car would probably be quite a good buy because of those things, and the price is probably going to be a little bit lower, but with the repairs, that is fairly easy to repair. It's one panel, same as the door on the back. It's one panel on the door, and that filter housing there is fairly easy to repair. So for probably $500 or $600 you could bring this car up to really good quality. Unfortunately the oil leak's not mentioned on the auction sheet, which means the price is not going to be lower because of that, but still I think this is a nice car and something that you could probably buy.